Okay, Ramies. Today we are talking about the celebrity college admissions scandal. It was also called Operation Varsity Blues,
Oh, right.
which like sounds chic, but it's not a chic story today. It's pretty dark. It's a story of privilege and it's a story of privilege.
And at the end of the day, it's a story of privilege. And isn't that history?
Like, I mean, God, truly. But I was excited to do it just because I knew about it, but I didn't even know like how these parents were getting their kids into these colleges, what happened, consequences, the aftermath. And so I was like, let's dive into a little bit more, specifically focusing on Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin, because who else really,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
stars.
Well, and also, you just even saying that, okay, Felicity Huffman, but like, why is it more Felicity Huffman and not, what's his name?
William
H. Macy,
Well, that's an interesting question, Claire, and we will talk about it.
my fellow shameless king.
He wasn't really involved.
Oh, okay, we will talk about
She
it.
was like literally doing it like behind his back, which is crazy. Or they just never were able to find any evidence about him, but it was pretty much it was just all her.
Oh, good. Sorry if you guys heard that. My Google Home decided to like freak out for a second. That really scared me.
She's like, I want to talk about the college admission scandal. Who doesn't?
Yeah, truly, I'm in.
Okay, so to cite my sources for today, we have Yahoo Entertainment.
Okay.
We have Wikipedia. We have ABC News. And we have the Operation Varsity Blues documentary on Netflix, which I have to say, disappointing.
You know, if only there were two gals that could make really amazing movies, documentaries, and TV shows after doing these subjects. I mean, I don't know.
Wouldn't that be so interesting?
Wouldn't that be
so
great?
lucrative, so empowering.
So empowering. Can't you guys see that for us?
Yeah, guys, wouldn't that be cool?
Yes. I mean, like and there it is, media production.
Oh,
I know.
we're all manifesting it together.
Yeah, we are.
So, Claire, I'm going to start off with a different question today.
Okay.
If you, right now, could have your parent, your mother, pay for you to get into any college and you could study anything you want and not get caught, what would you choose and why?
You know, someone asked me actually on a date with that freak the other day. He asked me what if like I could go to school and study right now, what it would be. And I think, okay, God, it's just so hard. This might sound crazy.
Say it.
I might like the first thing that comes to mind, I think I'm going to regret this, is Cindy, will you pay for me to do like a directing program at NYU?
What? Why is that crazy at all?
I don't know. Because it's like, I guess you could do like, like Harvard and I mean, NYU is an amazing school.
I mean, and then you get to be in New York.
I know. I think so too. And then like, I just think being directing would just be really cool to go to school for.
I love that for you. I think that's so cool.
Thank you. And second, not that you asked, but second would be some school and then doing political science. So maybe like Brown or Yale. I kind of don't want to go to Harvard. It's like so on the nose.
That's fine.
But call us Harvard because we'd love to speak.
But call us. Yeah, we'd love to. Anytime you guys need someone to talk about, making it in podcasting. I mean, now so many colleges do have a podcasting.
I'm saying.
Department.
I'm saying, okay, well, what would you have to pay for you?
I mean, I think it would be New York, just because I always regret not going to college in New York. I really do. Like I was contemplating going to the New School or Eugene Lang or whatever the fuck it was called at the time. And I think whenever I go to New York, I'm like, oh, it would have been so fun to be here in my 20s. So I think maybe I would do like a little writing at Columbia.
Oh, I love that. Like what kind of writing?
I like screenwriting.
Okay, love. Oh,
yeah.
Chic.
Yeah. And then maybe like minor in, oh God, I'm like, what else am I even interested in?
I think you would crush it in psychology.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah. I guess that would be like in my other life, kind of like, I wouldn't like, this is like what I would do today. But if I had like an alter ego, it would be going to, you know what? It'd be going to Stanford for psychology. I'm going to put that out there.
I love that. Yeah, I'm put that out there just in case it happens.
Just in case it happens. Just in case, that like 3% acceptance rate that they have.
Well, you just never know.
Yeah, you never know. But yeah, Stanford, I'm like, God, that's like one of the chicest schools.
Tess, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Maybe I'll become a psychologist in my later years.
We just don't know. Don't count her out.
It's hard to say. No, I did so bad in Psychology 101. I was like, what? I was like, this is like a lot of science.
Yeah, I actually think I did okay. I don't really remember high school though.
Good for. Oh, you took psychology in high school?
I took AP Psych.
Oh my God.
That was like, so history on the AP tracks, you could either do AP Gov or AP Psych. And so I did AP Psych, but now I wish you, like, why not let me do both? Because I actually would have loved to learn about government.
Oh, wow.
But people were like, it was so fucking hard.
God damn.
Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah, I did a semester of psych in college and was like, I want to do more like artsy classes.
Yeah, you're like, this
like
is not
dance.
what I thought. Well, who doesn't want to dance?
All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it because now we've already been chatting. Okay, so college admission scandal.
Yes.
Like I mentioned, Felicity Huffman and Loughlin became the faces of the college admission scandal 6 years ago.
Is it Loughlin or Loughlin?
I think it's Loughlin.
Loughlin.
Lori Loughlin. Yeah, that's how it's spelled. Loughlin.
Aunt Becky.
Aunt Becky.
Yeah.
Goddamn Aunt Becky, I guess.
God, do you remember being a kid and be like, whoa, that woman's hot when you watch Full House?
I felt so shook by her appearance. Like I was like, you are like the epitome of like a gorgeous mom.
And her and Jesse together, I was like, have mercy.
I know. Did they date in real life?
I don't think so.
Hot
They were
couple.
just so hot on the show.
So hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened, Claire? Well, 33 wealthy parents, including the Hollywood actresses, were charged in a cheating scheme to get their children into elite colleges in 2019. So we had Huffman, Loughlin, and Laughlin's husband, Massimo Giuliani, were three of more of the 50 people charged in the case, dubbed Operation Varsity Blues by the feds, which saw wealthy parents paying college admissions consultant William Rick Singer, who ran the Edge College and Career Network, for a side door into these universities, including USC, Yale, and Stanford.
I want to know who the police officers were who gets like come up with these names. Like, let's call it Operation Varsity Blues.
I know.
Like, yeah.
But literally feel like, God, that's going to hit. But it does hit. It makes it seem like really juicy.
It hits so hard.
Which, like, it is juicy.
You're trying to convince yourself. It's okay. We already told Premium. If you guys don't know, because if you're a Premium member, you get the whole episode. We've had a whole 30-minute conversation before this.
Yeah, so we're just trying to like get into it. I think I thought it was going to be different than it is, but that's not a bad thing. And
No, I'm already in.
Okay,
I'm already
good.
in.
Okay, so who is this guy? Who is this consultant, William Rick Singer, who ran this career network? So this guy had operated like a lucrative and legitimate college consulting business. God, so just starting with that, like those people make so much money.
Well, did you ever do something like that? Because I didn't go to college. I think I applied to the U of A because I just like, that's what everyone did in my town, University of Arkansas, not Arizona. Get it straight.
I know when you first said that, I was like, wait, what?
No, University of Arkansas. But like, I knew I wasn't going to go to college. Like my senior year, I already knew that. So I mean, I took the ACT, but I never did any of this stuff.
Yeah, I had a college counselor who a lot of people went to in Palo Alto, who was like the big one.
Wow.
And I don't know how much it cost. I think it was very pricey. I had an SAT tutor. It was very intense. Like it was very intense in Palo Alto at this time. There was a lot of high pressure and a lot of darkness with this high pressure. So I think college, like knowing like college was like on the horizon for me felt so like stressful. And it just felt like, and my parents didn't pressure me, but there was just a lot of like tension. People were going to a lot of Ivy Leagues from my school. It was just like everyone was getting perfect SAT scores and hiring like my SAT tutor was like on like, I mean, it was like hard to even get in with him. So it just was like, it was a lot.
I mean, I think that I wonder if it's different now because I know we have some high school Rammies. Are y'all, and I think it's so circumstantial too, but are y'all still feeling the pressure of college? Because I feel like this will be a good conversation later of like the college is changing in general. But we do tell these like children that the fate of your whole rest of your life is on this, you know?
Yeah, and like, what do you want to do? And you have to know now at 17 years old and commit to 4 years of spending a shit ton of money and like.
No, it's literally a kid being in like an interrogation room with like one light above them and like slamming the table like, what do you want to do?
No, it's so crazy. And like, I just wanted to go to one school and one school only. And then I didn't get into that school. And then
What school?
Chapman.
Oh, Chapman, you rue the day that you didn't let Tess Bellomo in your college.
No, I did the worst audition, and I did it over. My parents were like, you have to go in and do it in person. I was like, I don't want to. I'm scared. And so I did it. I recorded it myself, and I like found some terrible monologue on the internet about like me being a mother and talking to my baby. And that's how that was my audition. No wonder I fucking did get into the theater program there. They were like, is this a joke?
Well, it is a creative choice.
Yeah. So yes, I understand this whole like the heightened world of just like how stressful it is, but I don't understand why these people did this. But we'll get to that.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. So this guy William Singer, I guess everyone calls him Singer, which I guess when you do have that last name, like Ramona Singer, the Singer Stinger.
Stinger. That's right. They should have known.
So we'll just call him Singer. So he was successful, and then around 2011. He realized that he could now push some clients through what he called the front door. He had become close with some of the students and families that he was working with, and he felt very like protective of them and kind of like, well, man, like some of these kids work really hard, but they're not good at testing, or like some of them don't have the financial means to go to this college. He was feeling a lot of like, how can I help more?
Okay.
Was his first initial like motivation. So then he was like, you know what? I'm going to develop a new admission scheme called the side door.
Well, also, just quick question. Was he working with kids that couldn't afford to go to certain colleges? I feel like he must have been.
Some of them. He was working with like a lot of athletes that he was like, you can, you know, like you'll probably be able to get in here on like a sports
athletic scholarship.
Yeah. But it was pretty like, I think wealthy parents mostly. So he was like, look, my consulting has always been legitimate. But then he explained that the new scheme began with one student and then it soon expanded. Quote, there was a young man who was super talented, worked his tail off, but the student would always perform really poorly on practice SAT or ACT. So he found a way to get the student's application to the top of the pile. He began to bribe standardized testing proctors to turn a blind eye to permit cheating on exams.
My king. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it is very like, God, it's very bold.
No, that's fucked up. That is fucked up, you guys, obviously.
It just is. Like, it's one thing to like write a fucking answer on your hand when you're taking a...
Yeah, do a little peeky.
Just a little... You know. Who amongst us didn't do a little peek?
Well, listen, the SAT and the ACT, and I'm not condoning cheating right now. I'm just saying it is a huge test of everything.
And it's so, I mean, but it's so like you could, I forget all the rules, but like you couldn't have any, you couldn't even have a water bottle with you because like you could like tape something to your water, something could be inside your water. Like, God, it was intense.
I never took the SAT, but don't you have to, on the ACT, don't you have to like write 2 essays or something?
I never took the ACT, but I took the SAT. But there were still, I think you do have to write on both. There's an essay portion.
Talk about torture. I mean, I'm like, 2 right now?
No, it's so hard.
I kind of want to take it. I kind of want to take it and like see what comes out.
Just to see. I mean, there is so much to it that is like skill. Like even like if you don't know, there's like, you know, like that's like what my SAT tutor did. He's like, I know that you're not going to do good in like the math or science.
Well, yeah.
Do good there. So here's some little tips, just a process of elimination. And then I did go up like 500 points.
Right. Yes. Okay. So he's paying the people who are grading to cheat.
Mm-hmm. So at first he's paying the proctors.
Just for his students, obviously.
Just for the people that were paying to play.
That's fucked up.
Exactly. He said, I knew it was wrong and I did it anyway. That's very Ram. It's very Ram coded.
So Ram-coded, if I've ever heard anything Ram-coded.
Singer said, quote, what's 10, 12, 13 kids who are good students, quality people, and this one score may screw them out of an opportunity to go to a decent school? I rationalized that to myself.
Yeah, but sweetheart, you can't because there's so many.
It's so fucked up because there's so many kids that won't even get the opportunity because of how expensive college is.
Exactly. And who like deserve that scholarship over someone who like, yeah, it's fucked up.
And legacy and all of that stuff.
Because that's a real fucking legacy.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
So soon after the stakes grew, Singer was well known in the world of higher education, and he said presidents of several prestigious universities had contacted him, hoping his clients would donate millions of dollars to their school. So this is how it starts. So now everyone's like, oh, I heard what you're doing. If they really want to get in, like, we'll take a $5 million check to Yale.
Trash, not for us.
God, some of those universities too, they're just like so deeply like toxic and just rooted in like privilege.
Oh my God, of course, of course. And now, like, we're not going to do any, like DEI admissions and all of that stuff. But, let's be against DEI admissions, but we're not going to be, I mean, listen, I know we are against this, but it's just like there's so much.
No, I know. No, I know. So he said he began to set up meetings between the presidents and parents to discuss their children enrolling in the universities. Quote, the negotiations would go from whether the school was a good fit for the student to, well, what does the president need? What does the family need? Would there be some chit chat involved? He said, referring to a monetary favor. So this guy was a former basketball coach. And he said that he was sympathetic to coaches and the pressure they faced to fundraise ahead of their sports season. So he said that he began to set up similar meetings between them and his clients. And at times, he faked the students' athletic credentials to push their applications through. So he's literally like, he's puppeteering this from so many different angles.
Okay. I didn't realize that like athletics was so involved in all this. Also, like when you get on that field, babe, like,
honey, you can't hide.
You can't hide.
I know. He said, first I went to 3-4 coaches, then word got out to all coaches, and coaches started calling me every year, Singer said. If they needed to raise $250K or $500K for the program, they would call me and say, hey, I have a spot. Do you have a family that would like to come here? He said. When asked if they thought his scheme may have prevented legitimate recruits from earning their way to the collegiate team, Singer said, all I'm doing is being the facilitator and providing the coach this choice.
So, yeah.
So, like, I'm going to not say it, but yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's basically the background of, like, what he was doing, how he was, like, puppeteering this whole thing. He took in more than $25 million from the scheme.
He profited $25 million from that? So would he like skim the top of whatever the universities were getting?
Yeah, I think he would get a cut of all of it. And then, so he paid off SAT and ACT administrators to have Tess secretly taken. Yeah, then I think he's just getting the cut from, or he's being paid under the table from the parents. And then I think also getting a cut from the university at the same time.
Damn.
And he had a second business, a nonprofit, which allowed clients to deduct their bribery payments from income taxes. So it was all under the table.
That is so sick. Also, I'm like curious with the IRS, like when he, like, again, all of these, like, was he laundering money? Like all of a sudden you have $25 million, but he's probably just setting up his business and he's like, this is just what I do.
Yeah. And like if he's putting it into a nonprofit, right, then
sick.
I'm like, money laundering is, I still always am like, what the fuck is that?
Well, Ozark will be waiting for you when you are ready.
That's true. I learned a little bit about it from Breaking Bad. Yeah, right? If you have, like, they have the
you gotta wash. You gotta wash the money because it's like, that's why it's money laundering. You put it through a business that wouldn't make as much, but yeah.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, so I think he's doing something similar.
Okay.
So right now he's serving 3.5 years in prison on charges including conspiracy and money laundering, conspiracy, cooperated but he cooperated with the FBI.
Okay. He's not like Steve Madden.
He's not like Steve Madden. He said, okay, let's talk. And I'll tell you about these two ladies named Felicity Huffman and Loughlin to get a little bit less time in prison.
Dude, that sucks because it's like all the parents were doing it, but not all the parents were Aunt Becky and Annette. That's her name, right? On Desperate Housewives.
Oh my God, Annette. Oh, Annette was such a complicated woman, wasn't she?
Annette stressed me the fuck out because everyone else was like, I'm just like Terry Hatcher in her low-rise jeans, being like, I'm a single mom with a hot like plumber boyfriend. And Annette was like, I'm drowning here.
Annette was like, I'm actually going to show what like being depressed as a mother looks like. And people in 2005 didn't know how to take that.
No, but God, her house was so comforting to me.
Her house was so comforting. But I do remember watching that in like middle school, being like, oh, she's not like hot.
Wow.
And having like a very like, oh, like she doesn't really wear makeup and she wears like baggy clothes and her hair's always kind of greasy. And now I'm like, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But it was like shocking compared to like Eva Longoria and Terry Hatcher. But I like remember being like, this is different than what we see on TV.
I know, God.
Which is crazy.
I really want to rewatch Desperate Housewives, but that's neither here nor there.
I could feel it too. Maybe after this episode we'll be
ready.
Inspired after talking about Felicity so much. Okay. What were we going to say?
I was going to say she might need like that residual money. I mean, I don't know where she stands right now. William H. Macy has got them set though from Shameless.
Yeah, he's fine. But you know, everyone suffered a little bit. We'll say that without giving too much away. So
the person who suffered the most is that Their spot got taken from college
Wow.
by their kids.
That is true. That is true, Claire. Thank you for grounding me. So we're going to talk about Felicity and Lori. Yeah, she spells her name Lori.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a second I was like, wait, is her name Lauren? No, it's Lori.
Yeah.
Okay, so before her arrest, Felicity. Her name was Lynette.
Oh, what did I say? Annette? Oh,
Annette.
we were so close.
That's right. I was like, it's on the, Lynette Scavo in Desperate Housewives. She was Oscar nominee for, did you ever see that movie Transamerica?
No.
I just remember remember the trailer so well. And that was kind of it. Like, she was really known for Desperate Housewives. Like, didn't do that much ever, but God, who really needed to after
No, my
the
God.
success?
And it's such a dream to have a show like that. You show up to your lot, you don't have night shoots.
The amount of times I've toured the Desperate Housewives set.
Wisteria Lane, baby, Wisteria Lane.
In LA. Always a rush. So she worked with Singer for a year. Okay. And her main purpose, she wanted to help her eldest daughter, Sophia Macy, get into college. So Singer was like, all right, let's chat. He's like, here's what we're going to do. Here's the breakdown. He suggested that she pay $15,000 to have a proctor correct the answers on Sophia's 2017 SAT exam. Sophia, who had a learning disability, Felicity said, received a score of 1420, which was 400 points higher than a PSAT she took 1 year earlier. So she was like, that's great. We'll take the 400 more points. And Felicity, whose children were largely kept out of the spotlight, she spoke with Singer about running the scam for her younger daughter, Georgia, in 2018. And then last minute, she was like, you know what? No, we'll just keep it to Sophia.
Okay, she's like, Georgia's probably fine, but like Sophia really needs it. Georgia.
Always.
Georgia. My niece calls penguins Georgia, and it's so cute. She says, Georgia.
And literally, like now, whenever we are talking about going to Georgia or someone from Georgia, we have to say how Ada says it, Georgia. It's so cute.
Oh, shout out to you, Ada.
One day you'll listen to Ram, and that will be a gorgeous and scary day.
Oh, it's going to be a while.
Yeah. We have time. Okay, so what did the family know, Claire? What did her husband know? Because she's married to William H. Macy. So prosecutors said that Felicity's daughter, Sophia, who has now gone on to study drama at Carnegie Mellon, after
the drama, this is like what pisses me off.
No, it's so fucking annoying.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk about this. Of like the fact that these people have so much privilege anyways that they probably don't even need to go to college, and they're going to go to college for drama.
Just have your mom put you in a movie.
Exactly.
Sign whatever agency, CAA or whatever. Tell your daughter to get a meeting there. Like,
yes. Also, you don't want those connections of like in the film industry. You've got every connection in the world just for who you are.
Well, I'm sure they all just feel like idiots because like, what a waste of time this whole thing was. What a waste of time, and for your integrity and for your notoriety. Like everything, you ruined everything by doing this for yourself and your kids.
It just says so much because even I'm just thinking like she has to be, and I'm not a parent. I know parents would do anything for your kids, but it's your fucking character, an example for your kid to know that they are cheating.
Also, can you imagine, like, I was like, do you think I'm dumb? Like, it would give me such a complex to know that, like, my parent did not have faith in me. Or, like,
I'm just like, yeah. I probably would hear about it and be like, what the fuck? And then be like, yeah.
Yeah, be like, well, still, yeah. Just like, I kind of get it, actually.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think I'd feel both things, you know?
Well, it would be humiliating to be the kids and have your friends find out about it too.
It's so humiliating. So, yeah, so she's now at Carnegie Mellon, so she's doing fine. And
where is that?
Carnegie Mellon's on the East Coast. Is Carnegie Mellon in New York?
I mean, Carnegie Hall is.
Where is Carnegie Mellon?
You'll need to unlock your iPhone.
God damn it, I was trying to do live journalism. Oh my God. Okay, you know what? Just kidding.
Wait, let me try real quick.
Yeah, do it.
Where is Carnegie Mellon? Oh, it's... Why won't you tell me? I'm so sorry, you guys.
Where is Carnegie Mellon?
Oh, it's in Pittsburgh. It's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tess, you are right.
Okay. So yeah, we have okay, thank you. Live journalism. It has to happen.
Live journalism.
Mm-hmm. So Felicity was like, look, she was so unaware of this. Like, she never knew. My husband never knew. This is all on me. Um, William H. Macy was documented in transcripts from the FBI investigation, but he was never charged. There wasn't enough for him to be charged. Like, I don't know exactly what he knew, you know? It's the tales of his time. It's the Erica Jane. You know, what did she know? Who's and what were they just trying to hide? But he did appear by his wife's side at the hearings and he was very like supportive of her, but he never received any consequences.
Well, this is something that really shook people too, is because like they are a Hollywood golden couple. They've been together for so long. I think that people think that they are very like nice people. Like they have a pretty squeaky clean reputation.
They were so that couple like of the early 2000s that were like a little bit older, but everyone's like, that's mom and dad. Like
That's
they're
mom and
always
dad.
like kissing on the red carpet. They always seemed like they were looking at each other like adoringly.
They're like Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, like those vibes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, how did her arrest play out? Well, Felicity's LA home was raided on March 12th, 2019, with guns drawn on the sleeping couple and their daughters. It's not funny.
What?
It's just so crazy. They like busted into their house.
Is that necessary? Like, I'm not saying because they're like celebrities. I'm just saying of what the crime is. It feels a little excessive.
Yeah, like maybe like knock knock, like we know that you've been doing something really fucked up.
Yeah.
You will have to be charged.
Yeah.
But we don't have to draw guns on you.
Oh, like that's so, wow, that's really sad for their kids. That's so traumatizing.
Also, like they were sleeping. Like, I mean, it just seems so crazy.
Yeah.
So Felicity was handcuffed and arrested on charges of conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. Like
What's mail
Adrian?
got to do with it? Yeah.
I think if there's any like, secret like paperwork going sort
Mail.
of thing, mail,
Yeah. Yeah.
mail.
That's the umbrella.
She appeared in court that day looking like she had been dragged from bed.
Who said that? Who said that?
I think this was Yahoo Entertainment.
Yeah. Someone had a bone to pick with Felicity.
But she did look rather, and it's funny compared to Lori, who is like Gwyneth Paltrow in court, you know, just like looking so gorgeous and chic. Felicity did look like she had seen some shit, but like, God, I would too.
I mean, me too. Also, it's just like, was that necessary?
Yeah, we don't have to say that, Yahoo.
But
Remember
thank you for it.
Yahooligans?
Oh,
Yahooligans.
of course. Of course.
She wore black pants, a blue sweater.
Thank you for letting me know.
No, but this says her glasses and a lot of shame. I'm like, Yahoo.
Yeah, hooligans.
Yeah, hooligans. But yeah, so she was very somber. So that was her vibe compared to Lori, which we'll talk about in a second. They just had like such different like dispositions of this whole thing. That's like kind of shocking.
Yeah.
So when did she plead guilty? Less than a month later, Felicity made a deal with prosecutors to plead guilty. She expressed deep regret and shame over what she did, that she betrayed her daughter. That May, she formally entered her plea to one count of conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud.
This is just so humiliating. It's just like all my friends are going to know, like my kids' schools are going to, like everyone knows. It's so humiliating.
For what?
For what? Oh my God.
For what?
Like, you know what's really public universities, community colleges, great schools that your kids would be lucky to go to.
Literally. It's so embarrassing. So in September, Felicity was sentenced to 14 days in prison, 1 year of supervised release, 250 hours of community service, and a fine of $30,000. Yeah, that's it.
That's like barely what, oh my God, that's nothing.
Because that's even less than like what it would be to go to Carnegie Mellon's, probably like $50,000 a year. So it's like,
that's the truth.
Like at least at this, God, even more. In a letter to the judge, she said she committed the crime out of desperation to be a good mother and to give my daughter a fair shot. Felicity reported to prison in October and served 11 days. Within 1 year, she completed her community service.
I'm just like listen, again, I don't know what it's like to be a parent. I don't know what it's like to be desperate for your kids to have the best. But like, yeah, that's universal with families and parents. Like, why do you have to do this? You know what I mean?
No, I know. And college really is like, I mean, there's no other word for it. College is a privilege. Like, not everyone can go to college. Not everyone gets the opportunity, has the means, is able to get a scholarship. Like, it's just so, it is just such a gross story because it is these people that could pay, like, even if you're like, let's not cheat. I don't know. It's like they could do anything to get their kids into college. They could just say, hey, we're going to put out like a news like a lot of colleges like to have these Nepo babies there.
You know what they could also do is just tell their kids to fucking study. And if they're smart enough, they get to go. And if they're not smart enough, they don't get to go.
No, exactly. Like that is
Yeah.
like the good, reasonable side of it.
Yes.
But even if they're crazy narcissists, like
Yes.
either way, they could have avoided this.
100%.
So it's like, God. So Felicity's career was impacted, Claire. She said that her old life died after she was arrested. She had trouble finding work in Hollywood. She was cast in pilots that never made it to air, including a Good Doctor spinoff.
Well, I don't know if that was because of you, Felicity.
Yeah. Wait, Good Doctor.
I'm not
What is
into like,
that?
it's a procedural drama. It's the kid. I think it's a
Oh.
doctor with
The kid who,
autism,
yes.
I want to say.
What's his
Yeah.
name? Like hair, like he's like,
What is his name? I'm just like not into, I reserve my procedural shows for the pit and then everything else I'm not into.
of course, it's the pit or nothing.
It's a pit or nothing. So what can I say?
Yeah, she made her stage debut in 2024, in a revival of Taylor Mack's Her. I don't know what that is. She made some stage revival, but she has really not done anything else. Felicity has made just a handful of red carpet appearances since her arrest. She never resurrected her lifestyle blog. Oh my God, I forgot about this. This just brought me back. Called What the Flicka. Do you remember this?
Because William H. Macy calls her Flicka.
Yes.
What
Oh,
the
wow.
Flicka? Oh my God.
She shut that down during the scandal. What she has said since, nothing until her first interview ever about it in November 2023. Felicity recalled asking FBI agents, "Is this a joke?" as they pointed guns at her in her bedroom. She talked about driving Sophia to her SAT and telling herself, "Just turn around." And to my undying shame, I didn't. Huffman, whose real estate holdings were just alone worth $20 million, she felt like I had to give my daughter a chance at the future. This interview did not go over well. In 2024, she told The Guardian that life has been hard since her arrest, and she is still processing what has happened.
Okay, listen, I really don't get the whole, like, I have to give my daughter a chance for your future because it's just, like, does not make sense. But I'm also kind of like, I feel like she's not letting it go. I feel like the world's probably ready to let it go.
Yeah, I think she took it on, like, I think it's, like, her identity now. Like, I genuinely feel like she's like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah, that's not who she is, and she made a really horrible decision.
Yeah, and it's like, it is like what we were just talking about. Maybe this was on our premium section of the episode, but how everything is so black and white now. Like there's no room for nuance, and like you have to be like, she's a terrible person or she's a good person, or she did something wrong or right. Like this was a mistake. This was a gross thing that she did. I wouldn't, if I'm talking about her at a dinner party, I wouldn't say Felicity Huffman's a terrible human being. I think she did like a silly, idiotic thing.
Me too. And I think like I would be fine with watching her on my screen 100%. There's so many people who are still working in Hollywood that did way worse things than this.
Army Hammer has a podcast. Again, that's all I'm going to say. Like it's crazy.
I mean,
the people
my
that
God.
still, the men that still get to work, the men that get all these opportunities, and the women that have to live in shame for the rest of their life.
Morgan Wallen is selling out stadiums, and he, just look at the things he's done, okay? And said.
There are such little repercussions for men in Hollywood and famous men versus women. I mean, God, we talk about this on so many episodes. Listen to our Monica Lewinsky episode.
Yep.
Start there. And then say no more.
Felicity, I'd be like, sweetheart, I think that you have to start moving past it yourself to let everyone else do it for you too.
Yeah, you have to forgive yourself. If I saw her on a show, I wouldn't be like, like.
Either. I don't even know if I would think about the college admission stuff because I feel like we're ready to move on.
I think about it more with Lori, and this is a good transition.
Okay. Yes, let's go.
We're first gonna take a little break, and when we come back, we will talk about how different our girl Lori handled this whole thing. Okay, and we're back. So, Claire, you watched Full House? Were you like a Full House girly?
Well, I watched a lot of Full House as a kid. I liked it a lot. I never watched the reboot. Like I wasn't into Full House like that much, but I did like a lot as a kid.
Okay. I hardly watched it, but I watched the CW version of 90210, and she's the mom on it.
Oh.
And so I had like my connection to her through that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so her role in the scandal. Let's just get right into it. So Lori and her husband Giannulli, I think his name
Is
is.
he the designer for Moschino?
He is, Claire. He
It's
is.
all coming back to me now. It's
Yes,
all coming back to me.
isn't that crazy?
Yes, I mean, God, to have one of your parents be a fashion designer and one of your parents be an actor, chic.
Yeah, it's really chic.
So
God,
chic.
it is chic. And Lord knows that Olivia's probably about to come out with like some sort of line. I think people are saying she just patented something. I think she's going
Wow.
to come out with either clothing or beauty. I'm like, okay, we'll talk about it later. I'm getting
Yeah.
ahead of myself. I'm sorry. So they paid Singer $250,000 twice to secure both of their daughters, Isabella in 2017 and Olivia Jade in 2018, admission to USC as crew recruits, despite neither of the girls ever playing the sport.
Okay, isn't that also kind of ram-coded?
Yeah, they're like, just get on the no, Claire, this is crazy. The couple stage photos of their kids on rowing equipment for fake athlete profiles that were created to pass off the girls as, what's it called when you row? Crew? Coxswains?
I have never been even close to a rowing world.
Coxswans? I don't know. You guys are going to laugh at me.
Coxswains? I think I've heard about them before.
So the dad wrote an email obtained by the FBI that he had to work the system to get his daughters to USC. So he went to Olivia Jade's high school and intimidated a guidance counselor who questioned her admission to USC on athletic abilities. He was like, don't you talk about my daughter like that.
Okay, I'm like, I'm sorry, rowing crew, please give me a break. Also, so this is how all the athletic stuff, because remember earlier, I was like, I didn't realize that athletics were involved, but here we go.
It's all coming back to the athletic girlies.
Yes.
It's also just crazy to me that these parents would be like, I'm like, why choose that? Like, why choose a sport that they've never even touched before? Like, their story is so crazy to me.
Also, I'm going to say something that might be really controversial to say, and I mean it with true love and light.
Say it.
USC is a great school. Like, we have friends that went to USC and they are smart as hell. But I'm also like, for USC, you know what I mean?
You know what USC has though? It has the Raz.
Of course, it has the Raz.
And for like California, like the really wealthy kids go there. Like, it's such a community. I'm sure that their friends had their parents had kids that went there. Like, it's such a vibe.
It's such a vibe, but I'm like, it's such a vibe that I guarantee you that they, like, USC would have taken Olivia Jade knowing who her parents are,
Just
and they
based off
make
the name.
a donation to the school. Like, I don't think that you have to do all this crazy stuff.
I know. I should have looked up acceptance rate. I mean, I remember when I visited USC, Donna and I went together, and we were like, it was more like I didn't like the location. Like, I felt like it wasn't like, it wasn't how I pictured it. I think it had like at that time, like a 25% acceptance rate, which is like very hard. It was very hard to get into.
No, it's so hard. And like, especially to our friend Allison, who is so freaking smart, and she went to USC. And I do not say that like it's an easy school to get into. It's not. It's a private school too. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's all crazy. It's all crazy behavior. It's hard to like justify any of it because you're just like, what?
Exactly.
Giannulli was a participant along with his wife, Lori. As for the couple's daughters, so yeah, they posed for the fake rowing machines, and Olivia Jade,
That's so embarrassing. Oh my God. I can't.
Can you imagine them in like crop tops with like a spray tan, like on it, just like a full photo shoot?
Also, like, not the right technique, I'm sure, at all.
If you've never, like, look, if I were to fake a sport, what would I choose that I could like get some good photos? I'd do probably basketball because I'm tall. Like something where you're just like, okay, this could like you could.
I think I. Oh my God. For the carousel, we should go take some pictures.
Playing basketball, just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like, would you believe us?
Yeah, would you believe it? I think I would choose volleyball.
Oh, that's good, Claire.
It's like,
actually, maybe we should do that.
like that. Like, just if you guys aren't watching, my arms are out straight.
Yeah, no, that's good. God, that's good. Or like running.
Running. Okay, we've got some ideas to workshop. I'm coming over like this week and we're taking some pictures.
That's perfect. We'll get Kanal's basketball out of the garage. Start there.
Happening.
So Olivia Jade was a YouTube influencer at the time. So little Olivia was copied on emails between her parents and Singer. Thank you so much for listening to this preview episode of the college admission scandal. If you are on main feed, you get about 30 to 40 minutes of the 4th episode of every month. However, if you are our premium Rammy, we love our premium Rammies, you get the full hour-and-a-half episode with some personal catch-up and gossip before, and the full hour-and-a-half main episode. So once again, this is just a preview episode. This happens every month. Please join our premium subscription if you want to hear the full episode. The link will be in our show notes. And thank you so much for listening and being a Rammy.